Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is Dom, aka KT2, and I'm coming back to you guys with yet another video, guys. Today, this is a very requested video. I don't know how many times people have been slipping and sliding all up in my DMs asking for this specific branch. So here we go. Blessed from the Most High, all the way from, you know what? I'm not going to give out the place, but all the way from somewhere not where I'm at, which is North Carolina. This is an exclusive episode of Thunder Thursdays, guys. Please welcome Andrea up to the show. Andrea, thank you for appearing on Thursday Thunder tonight.
Hello.
All right, so without further ado, we're just going to jump straight into the interview. So, Andrea, what is your rank?
So I am a second lieutenant.
You're a second lieutenant.
Yes.
Oh, you young. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I am very young.
What is your commissioning source?
So I commissioned out of ROTC.
Yeah, okay. You're a ROTC person. You're a ROTC person. All right. So please tell us, what is your branch? What is your job?
So I am a 31 Alpha, which is a military police officer.
Ooh, so, and we're not talking about just a regular MP. You're the actual real deal officer version of the MPs.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, guys. This is it. This is what y'all been asking for. Y'all wanted to hear from an MP. Here we go. So how long have you actually been an MP officer?
So I've been an MP officer for going on 12 months now.
12
Next
months.
month will be 12 months.
Okay.
So 11 months this May 1st.
Okay. Why did you pick MP out of all? So you got all these great branches. You have quartermaster. You've got quartermaster, but you picked MP. So why did you pick MP?
Well, growing up, I wanted to do something with law enforcement, and I have a bachelor's in criminology, and my aspirations were to do something involving law. So when I looked up all the other branches, this was the only one that kind of, correlated for what I wanted to do in the future. So I feel like military police was the way to go.
Fancy. Okay. So can you run us through what is your day-to-day life like, as an MP officer? Because you got to keep in mind, like me, I come from Germany, where we never did any PT in the morning. And I come to the States and now I hear people do PT in the morning over here. And all my units, everything I've ever seen is PT in the afternoon. So can you run us from when you wake up at the crack of dawn or 9 a.m. or 4 a.m. until when you get home?
Okay. Well, for us, where I'm currently stationed, we do PT in the morning. PT is around 6:30 during flag call. So we'll do PT, and work will be, the work call will be 9:30. So from 6:30 to about 8:30, we're PTing, and then 8:30 to 9:30, you have your personal time / chow, and then you'll show up to work at 9:30, and you'll do whatever daily duties you have to do. So for the military police corps, it works in cycles. So when my platoon is on green cycle, we're mostly focusing on collective task, individual training. And when they're on red cycle, we're focused on law enforcement commitments, like road obligations. So it kind of depends what kind of cycle I'm in. Certain times, like during green cycle, I'll be waking up at 04 to start training earlier. But when we're in red cycle, it's a bit more chill, where I'm waking up at 06:30 every day.
Okay, so you 06:30 red cycle. So you do your things during the day. Is there any times where you would stay late? Maybe what time?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say that the times that I stay the latest is during my green cycles. Like I'm saying, we're doing collective training. So we're out at the ranges. We're out doing squad training, team training. We're out really late. I want to say 2300 late. And sometimes before in the field, it's even later. We're just out there doing training. But during red cycles, I want to say my soldiers have a regular, a regular road commitment. So they're working 8-hour shifts. And on the backside, I'm the one planning their next green cycle. So I'll stay in the office planning all that training while they're working the roads. So it is kind of different from any other branches that I've heard, where people don't really transition in between cycles. But for us, we transition every quarter. We transition to a new cycle.
Every quarter you transition to a new cycle. So quarter would be every 4 months, correct or not correct?
Yes. Okay. Well, every 3 months.
Every 3
months. We do our transition. Yes, every 3 months.
Okay. Cool. If you could give us some of, maybe your general responsibilities, if you could list out maybe a couple, what would they be?
So taking care of the soldiers is like top priority. That's the one that we always emphasize. That's the most important. After that is just weapons qualifications is another high importance for us, and just team training to build up to our squad trainings, because we do CTE every quarter as well to like make sure that our squads are trained up. So I would say those are like the four top responsibilities, especially when you're in the green cycle. But when you're in the red cycle, it's more so making sure your soldiers have adequate sleep, that you're making sure that the DA6 is in accordance to making sure that everybody gets their days off and they're not working 5 days straight. They're supposed to get like, a 5-2. So you make sure that the DA6 is built accordingly. So it honestly depends on the cycle. Like the responsibility changes a little bit, slightly, just based off of the cycle in which you're training, like your intent is. But besides that, I want to say, honestly, prioritizing the soldiers first is always like my main responsibility, regardless of the quarter that we're in.
Let me back up. For the people who don't know, right, the regular average viewers, what is a DA6?
So a DA6 is basically like I want to say it's like a work schedule for everybody. Like all of your soldiers will be lined up, and it goes for the whole month. So you would say like this person is off on this day. They'll be working the road tomorrow. They'll be off the next day, or whatever taskings that they have. So it lists out all of their taskings on one sheet. And what I do is that my platoon sergeants and the squad leaders, they make that, and then I just have an oversight. I do it to make sure there's like no discrepancies and that people aren't getting like the same shifts over and over, and it's not exhausting them. But that's kind of what a DA6 is. It's just like your schedule, but it's like more so on an Excel sheet, and it's like every soldier is listed on there.
Common question, and I know a question that even I want to know while we're talking about general responsibilities. Do you, as an officer, actually get on the road and pull people over?
No, I do not. But however, I am allowed to do tag-alongs kind of with my patrol supervisors. The patrol supervisors are usually a E5, a sergeant and above. So I am allowed to do ride-alongs with them where I'll be in complete LE gear, law enforcement gear, for some of you guys that don't know. But like I'll be able to do that as well. Like we can get in, but that's not our priority. Like that's not our main jobs. Like to be behind the wheel, pulling people over. That's kind of not what the officers do. But you are allowed to do ride-alongs with like a patrol supervisor.
Okay. I want to know that too. I thought y'all was out there,
When I first got to my station, I thought I was gonna be behind the wheel, pulling people over, and they're like, no, you're gonna be at the office doing this and that. I was like, what? But they were like, you can do tag-alongs with the patrol supervisors where you get your complete LE gear and you can ride along with them and do citations and kind of learn from them. Because, our sergeants, they really do have, like, the most experience, especially for me, like, coming as a second lieutenant. I really learned from all of my sergeants. So, yeah.
What would you say are the benefits to being an MP officer?
At least for me, personally, the benefits is that, like, I'm getting, like, I don't know about any other branch, but I'm getting, like, one-on-one time with my soldiers every day. Like, I see my soldiers every day. Like, when they go to the arms room to draw their LE gear, I'm there. When they're doing their guard mount shift, which is basically, like, before they go on the shift, they do, like, a little bit of a review kind of session. I'm there to see that. Like, I'm with my soldiers every day. So that's one thing that I heard other branches, they don't really get to see their soldiers every day unless it's, like, a Monday where it's multiple maintenance and people gather together. But I see my soldiers every day. So I kind of love being in the MP Corps for that. But besides that, I would also say, like, the law enforcement experience that I'm gaining is going to help me in the future for what I want to do. So.
Okay. What do you like the most, and then what do you like the least about being an MP officer?
The most. I can do the least first, but the most, that's a tough one. But the least thing that I like is that people don't understand that law enforcement commitments happens every day, regardless if it's like a Donza, which is like a day off for some of you guys that don't know, like a Donza. So we still have to work those shifts, like regardless. We're still working the roads. We're 24/7. There's like no breaks. So a lot of people think that just because it's a Donza, like the MP Corps is off. No, we still have to like fulfill those law enforcement obligations and work the roads 24/7. So that's the one thing that I kind of like. I don't like, but then again, we kind of went into it knowing that this is what we were signing up for. So when it comes back to the most thing that I like, I honestly don't know. I enjoy my branch, but I can pick out one thing that I like the most. Well, if I had to, I would say the transitions. I actually like transitioning from red cycle to green cycle because it gives me like more time to plan out a better green cycle than the one that I did before, because you always get that break. It's like to get all of your AAR comments and make it better for the next time.
Yeah.
Well, I know some people they're constantly training and they don't get this break to take a break to actually assess everything that they've done. So So I think that would be the thing that I like the most, that we actually do get to transition. At least at the station that I'm at right now, we get this transitional time. So I guess that
Transitions.
would be, yeah.
You don't have to tell us where you're stationed at, right?
Yeah.
But is there anything specific about your branch, MP, that's exclusive to the base that you're at, or is it generally the same everywhere?
Yeah, okay, so where I'm at, we get to work with the foreign nationals, and it's kind of a different experience than when you're in the States because you learn so much from them, like how they go about doing things in their army compared to what we do in our army. So you guys are both collaborating on ideas, and you're getting like some cool trainings that they actually do, and you get to incorporate it in your American style training, and it's pretty cool. And I feel like in America, I wouldn't be getting that type of training at all. So it's kind of pretty cool to be working with them.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Um. So next question is, have you been deployed, and do you know if you have or if you have not, does your job change when you're deployed, to your
So
knowledge?
I have not been deployed, and from like I don't have experience to speak on this, but I'm pretty sure if we were deployed, our jobs would entail more so base operation security, more so providing security as opposed to working the roads. So that's just something that I think we'd be doing because base operations is just somewhere you do when you're deployed as a military police officer. So you wouldn't be necessarily working the roads and provide doing citations. You'd just be doing regular security. So
All right. So let's say the four-star general of the army came down and he's like, I need to change something about the MP corps, the MP officers, right? So he comes down, he comes down, he's like, boom, he finds you, Lieutenant Andrea. He's like, tell me what I need to change about this branch. What would you tell him?
that's kind of funny that you say that because I talked to one of my squad leaders and I was asking him if you could change anything about the MP Corps, what would it be? And guess what he said?
What do you say?
The pay. The pay for military police officers should definitely not be the same for any other branch because, as I told you, we're working 24/7 regardless of off days. So he actually sat and he like calculated the amount of hours he worked compared to how much he would get paid on the civilian sector if he had like a paid job, hourly paid job, and it was a lot more. So he brought this up to me. He was like, if he could change anything about the MP Corps, it would be the pay. And I think it would be the pay, especially for the lower enlisted, because they are the ones like working the roads. Like I'm not working the roads, so I'm not expecting you to increase my pay, but definitely increase the pay for like the enlisted soldiers for sure.
Mm.
That's what it would be for me.
Okay, okay. And I'm pretty sure this is a super easy question for you, but
What is it?
how does this position transfer over to the civilian world?
So, obviously, if you're a military police officer, you're going to have like all of this knowledge and expertise on handling the roads and doing law enforcement. The only difference would be that you're doing law enforcement on the civilian sector, but the military police corps actually prepares you for transferring over your skills to a civilian law enforcement job, such as being a highway patrol officer or being a police officer in general. But for me, like in terms of civilian sector, what I want to do is become a lawyer. Has it really helped me to become a lawyer? Not really, because we don't really study law in the MP Corps, but that's the way that I'm planning on going with my life. But I feel like it still prepared me in a sense where I'll understand how law enforcement works and the correct way that people should be getting pulled over. So if I have a case that, entails like someone got like misconduct happened during a hit and run or something, I can like vouch for that and I can understand all the steps that need to happen. So in a sense, it still helps me.
Okay. Okay. So next question is, what are your plans right now? I know you're in the beginning. I don't know if you have any ADSOs or anything.
No.
But ADSOs, for people who don't know, are active duty service obligations. Officers, we don't typically have contracts unless our first initial obligation, and then from there we generally wow, holy moly, Kyle, please help me out here. We generally incur ADSOs because of the things we do. So what are your plans? You plan to get out? You want to stay in 20 years? I heard you said you want to be a lawyer. Do you plan on doing the FLEPL program?
But
FLEP. So can you break it down for us one time right quick?
So I plan on doing the FLAP program, which basically pays for my law school, and then I'll be able to transition into a JAG officer as opposed to MP. So in November, what happens is that they select 20 candidates from all over, the Army, and They look at your GPA, look at your ACFT, their ACFT is done. So ACFT, they look at your recommendations as well as your ORB, and they select like the candidates that they feel is best. So that's what I plan on doing. I want to go JAG. If I don't become a lawyer on the military sector, I'll just become a lawyer on the civilian side and become National Guard or transition into National Guard. So that's the goals for now.
Okay. Okay. And then my last question for you, again, thank you for taking the time, Drea, for breaking, this overly requested video. Do you have any words of wisdoms for anybody that's looking to branch MP, whether they be just cadets, OCs, actual people in Bullock? Like, what would you have any words of wisdom for anybody looking to get into this branch?
Well, one thing I always say to people is that, hey, if you have a dream, go after it. If you don't like it, you can always change it at the end. Like even though you have a contract to stay in MP, you don't have to stay forever. Once your contract is over, if you don't like where you're at, you can always switch to a different branch and try something new. Especially if you're young, like you have time. Like go after what you want to do in life. So that's the only wisdom I can honestly give.
Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. That is it, guys. We're cutting it right there. We can all clap it up. Clap it up for Andrea stopping by the show tonight, or depending on where you're at in the world, is probably in the afternoon or the morning on this wonderful Thursday. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys can hit me up on Snapchat or Instagram. You guys, Kyle, go ahead, drop my handle for them, please, right quick. I will not be putting Andrea's information anywhere. I do not want you guys trying to slip and slide all up into this girl's DM right now. Again, thank you guys for everything. Thank you for watching. Like I always like to say at the end of all my videos, don't live the same year 75, 80, 85, 90 times and then try and call it a life. My name is Dom. This is Andrea, and we're out here, guys. Peace.